Psalm 133. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
For we live by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and would prefer to be away from the body and at home with the Lord. So we make it our goal to please Him, whether we are at home in the body or away from it.
We're going to talk about, Corey, thank you for your story. Mark, thank you for your insights, brother. Jack,
hey, Sean, can I add something real quick?
What you got? I
just want to just add that God doesn't tell us to thank Him and praise Him because He's some kind of self-conscious God. I mean, He is a jealous God.
Yes.
But there's a bigger principle involved here. He doesn't want us to get too big or too into ourselves.
There you go.
Yeah. See, and and it's a bigger principle involved, and we're all in this together. You know, once we start thanking ourselves, then we have a bad habit of forgetting about the other person involved.
Right.
Well, so it depends. It depends. I mean, me, I feel like I just feel like with my accomplishments, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just my accomplishments because I just was destined or ordained, but, you know, again, the environments, you know, it's always fascinating when I see young people that come from the harshest environments and they defy the odds and, you know, they get through it. And you know what? They should have credit for that because they could easily have just packed a pistol and just ran up on you when you earned yours and just took it from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the reality, you know? So I try to, I don't know if it's necessarily, you know, we live in a society already that I don't like just the fact that we glorify certain people and we forget that.
I agree.
I mean, you know, like there's people like, we love Chad, right? And he did a great thing he brought people together and stuff. And there's people that are unknown that are just like him. You know what I'm saying?
Like me, for example. I mean,
yeah, huh?
Guys like me,
think about it this way. We were in the military. There's guys that went to war. You know, they're 18 years old. They're seeing some of the most horrific things ever. And that's why I'm so loyal to the brothers and sisters and the people that have served, regardless if you agree or you don't agree. Because you come home and you see kids that just sit home and play video games all day. They don't have anything that has ever got them focused enough to ground them to anything. So they just live a life, you know, being leeches on society and different things like that. And yes, that's judgmental and, you know, I should be PC and just not say that, but it is what it is, you know? And I just have a deep respect for people that work hard for what they have. I don't need the 10 commandments to tell me not to covet a man's wife or his belongings. I understand because I work hard for my stuff, you know, why I shouldn't do that. Of
God working in you. I think
I don't need to, I don't like, if I see another man and he got a nice house, I'm congratulating that guy.
Absolutely.
Like, man, that was a good job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm inspired. I'm wired differently. So I'm inspired and I'm like, man, I want to get, I know a lot of business owners locally that are just doing great things. And when I talk about them, you would think that we hung out and we drunk a beer every night or something, but no, it's just I'm inspired by what you do. We're not even in the same.
For a minute, and it's important to understand this when we talk about Christian principle, right? The good things that we do as people, none of those things are gonna give us a right standing before God when it's time to give an account.
No, you're right.
Our lives.
Okay, now I have a question. Yeah,
what you got, Jack?
What defines you as a Christian? Is it your way of life, or is it the good deeds you do in life?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Bill, you want to grab that, brother?
I tell you,
I'm just a bird.
well, you know, I tell you,
I can answer. I want to answer.
Hey,
Bill, let me answer. Let me get it.
before you answer that question, Bill.
Okay, I'm gonna answer that question, Jack.
Hey, hold on, Bush. Before you answer the question, reason why I asked you that question was because is Mark not a Christian because of the good things he do? You know, even though his faith might be different from us, who are we to judge? Only God can judge, right?
God, well, you know what? That's a good point, Jack. That ultimately, God is the one that sees the heart of man, right?
Exactly.
We don't. Guess what? There's a lot of that going on, and that's actually a pet peeve of mine. Even within the body of Christ, you got Christians that they want to sit up here and they want to point out everybody else's faults.
But did we actually hear what Mark had to say? Mark said a lot. Mark said he does good things. He don't expect nothing in return.
But this
is his heart.
And this is my point.
What he stated was that
but you have to understand something that you got to understand something that we're all born into sin.
Yeah,
we're all born into sin. So, you know, even don't even. What do you say? How do you say it in the Bible? Don't even tax
the good deeds that we do. Right? They're basically filthy rags in the eyes of God because they're not. We're imperfect beings. Our hearts are evil for the most part, right? We're born into sin, from the time that we're a baby up until
that's the old cliche says when a child is born into this world, you cry. When a person dies, you rejoice because they're going to a better place. They're going home. It's called a homegoing. Right.
Where we come from.
No. I hear you, but again, tying it back into the Christian principle, right? The wicked go astray from birth, from the time that we're born.
That's right. That's right.
We're because of the fall, because of Adam and Eve, right? And that entered the world as a result of their disobedience. We're in rebellion against God, and that's why the world is in a state of disarray and conflict.
But that's not what I'm saying, though, man. That's not.
I got you. Hear me out, my brother. Hear me out. So anything good that we do, that in of itself, God, he doesn't look at it as being good. You know what justifies us? You know what makes us a Christian in the eyes of God, right?
Yeah, let me hear.
The fact that we have the Spirit, God's Spirit within us, the Holy Spirit that is indwelling us, that is given to us. That's where that term born again comes from, right? Because our spirit, we're spiritual beings, like you say, Jack, right? We're spiritual beings. We're part, we got a spirit, but we also got a body. That spirit is in an unredeemed state until God regenerates it, right? Until he imparts the Holy Spirit, and now your spirit is made alive, right? And now you can understand that Bible is a spiritual book. Until you have the Spirit of God indwelling, right? Okay. You are not going to be able to fully comprehend what God is talking about. You can read it intellectually, and a lot of people do, right?
But my question was, and now you hit another topic though. But my question was, who's to say? Who are we to judge? I cannot.
We're not.
It's
God's job.
Let me finish. I can't say everything Mark said, and Billy, correct me if I'm wrong, was of the Christian way, but it was his belief. He believed it in a different manner. Now that being said, not us to judge. Only one person can judge, and that when that day comes, and when he has to go before God, or go before, as we say, running. When we ran Cadence, go before St. Peter at the pearly gate. Now, before we go inside, he has to go meet with God. It's for him. His belief in or what he think, that's his beliefs, and ours. And we have to. And my bottom line is, it all boils down that we have to respect one another. We can't. We can stay with the Bible. We can say what the Bible say. We can say this. We can say that. We have to respect one another. And I respect what that brother said, because what that brother said, and you correct me if I'm wrong, with the way he helped people out, he don't expect nothing in return. And the way what he does for people, he just said, hey, that's just my way of doing it. Hey, I get out here, I bust my behind. If I do this for you, I do that for you. As Christians, we do stuff, it comes from the heart, because those are our beliefs, right or wrong.
Christ is.
Yeah, and he gives hope. Mark is a person that he gives hope to a lot of people. A lot of us here that know Mark, I know we can go all the way back to Kosovo, and we know a lot of the headaches he went through. You know what I mean? I'm very proud to see how he is right now. All the way
yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. And I mean, hell yeah, but yeah. Hey, he's doing great for himself, and I'm so proud of him, man. Man, I ain't gonna get emotional, but
no. Hey, Jack,
look, the bottom line
proud
is,
of Mark. You know, that's our brother in arms. You know.
Yeah, but man, look what he's doing though. Look, he's volunteering. He's giving his time to coaching. He's doing, man, he's doing Christian stuff. He might not see it as Christian. He might, hey, this is Mark. That's Mark's way of doing it. But what I'm saying is, man, we have to respect each other.
And let me speak to that. And again, those are all great things. Those are good things, Mark. And you ought to be celebrated and applauded for those things.
That's not what he wants.
We're giving you your roses, my brother, right now, right? But I'm gonna tell you again, right? Just keep it 100% real with everybody on the panel, right? If you don't have faith, right, none of those good things count for anything before God. According to
no, but that whoa. Let's go back on that one, Mr. 5 degrees. Hold on.
Hey,
hold on. What is
listen. The just to live by faith. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. That is a Christian.
Exactly, and we are made an example of Him, right? So our acts and our tributes that we do in our daily life represents Him.
But if you don't believe that God is God, God says that doesn't count.
But who's God? Okay, who's God then?
God. Christ says, right? If you
I'm just saying, if you say God is God, but
right.
Okay, so by the way, I don't know how to translate that whole thing right
that's
there. At
important.
the end of the day, the New Testament, that should be our main focus. That's really what guys is.
What did you say? The new what? The new what?
And Testament.
The New Testament, right? But check this out. The Bible has been rewritten over years and years and years.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the thing. Why is it that they tell you if you get caught with the original Bible, you're going to do a minimum of 5 years in prison?
But listen,
because there's a lot of stuff in the Bible I don't want you to know.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I had a friend tell me years ago because I had that same question when I was a very young man. And this is what he told me. He said, "You believe that God is the all-powerful being in all of the universe?" I said, yeah. I said, well, if you believe that, don't you think he has the power to protect his own word?
Well, amen. No, I agree with that 100%. No,
the Bible was written over thousands of years, right? Mm-hmm. And if you really read the Bible, there's no contradictions. It's harmonious from Genesis to Revelation. It takes time to fully understand what's going on.
And Sean, how many years did it take to make that Bible we talking about? Everybody thinks it was written in one sitting. What years did it take?
1,400 years, I believe.
1,400 years to put that book together, and it's harmonious. There's
a common thread that runs through it, and it's that of Jesus Christ. The Old Testament looked forward to the coming of the Messiah, but the Messiah came, and now the New Testament looks forward to his return, right? You know, so but if you search the pages of the Bible, what's interesting about it is that the gospel, the story of salvation, is interwoven throughout every story. Whenever I read the Bible, I'm looking for the gospel of Jesus Christ in Genesis, and you know, it's there. You just gotta be able to, you know, the Spirit of God. That's the Spirit of God.
But at the same token, the Bible now is interpreted by you. Like you said, you interpret it this way. I might interpret a different way.
Yeah.
We still come on the same common ground, but it's a way of interpretation.
But you know what, Jack? So God has a principle for interpreting the Bible. He says, look, when it comes to
exactly, that's right. It's the Spirit. But like I said, I might interpret the same way. As long as we come in the middle, we be the middle. We both at the same.
You know what? Right there, Jack.
Look, wait a minute.
Hold on. Real quick, what Jack was saying right there. You know what? Jack just reminded me one thing he told me in a Humvee in Homestead. He told me, Mendes, you are a walker. And to this day, okay, I'm talking 20 years later, to this day, I remember his words that he told me in the Humvee. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, man, you're a walker. You out there always helping people without expect. And it was something that I always did it was just me. You know what I mean? I just like helping people. And I never expect nothing back in return. You know, and through all these years, I always wonder, you know, okay, I'm a walker. So I'm always walking and you know, I'm trying to interpret that meaning that he said to me and the whole aspect on it. But what I ended up doing is like, utilizing myself as a vessel to be able to
Exactly.
present something to somebody without telling them what it is. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Exactly.
My good deeds, my good kinds, hopefully they can duplicate those things.
Exactly.
I don't got to tell them it's under Christ or under God, but little by little, we can influence people to do the right thing.
That's
and
my
in
whole thing.
time,
No, I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement.
That's my whole thing, Mendez. That's my whole thing.
I'm in agreement. You gotta live though. You gotta live it too, right? You gotta.
Yeah, but you gotta
that's what he said
you gotta
doing.
walk, crawl,
That's
and
what he's
run. You know
doing.
what I mean? A lot of people
See, I
are
don't
not
think-
even brought like that.
But again, the one point I want everybody to make sure they understand that I don't want you to leave here, and I don't want our audience to miss, is that works without faith, right? That doesn't justify you before God. It's the faith. It's the faith
Right.
that
I don't think-
justifies you.
I don't think Sean was trying to demean Mark by any means, saying that he wasn't in the faith. He was just trying to remind people that, you know, works without faith, they're nothing.
But, and I agree with you. I agree with you.
Everything Mark is doing is of Christ.
Hey, I agree with you, and I agree with you and Bush, man. I promise. But my thing is, bottom line is, what we see as faith, the way we were raised, Mark sees it in a different manner. It doesn't mean that he's not. I mean, he's wrong, but his faith is. I mean, it's the same. It's basically the same common ground. It's just the way he explained it.
Right, no, I'm with you.
No,
Look,
hey, good example real quick. I want to bring it. Hey,
we talked about a principle. You know, only God knows. You know,
heart, right?
Mark's heart, or Jack's heart, or Mendez's heart, or mine. I mean, I could be not in the faith, right?
No. That's the whole thing. No, what I'm trying to say is you gotta build. You got to build the people. Like we talk about faith. People don't even understand what faith is. Right now, for example, me and you, Bush, right? We're doing a buddy team. How do I have faith that when I'm moving up and you're shooting, you're not going to shoot me? How do I have the faith and trust in you that when I'm bounding up and you're engaging, you're not going to shoot me in the back?
Right. But when we talk about faith, again, we're framing it within the parameters of Christian principle, right?
Hey, I'm going on that. That is Christian principle, and that's the basics of it. People gotta understand first what is faith, and we might teach people faith a certain and at a different level. In time, they're gonna realize, okay, the faith in God, the faith in Christianity, or whatever type of religion they want to believe in. But at the end of the day, no matter what religion you look at, they all have the good principle values of being a good human being and treating each other with kindness. You know what I mean? And we got to teach that.
Hey, we'll get to that in a minute. Hey, Jim, real quick testimony time, right? Mark, Mendez, Jack, y'all know me for the military, right? Tori, you know me before the military, right? My relationship with this dude right here, it expands. It reaches all the way back before my relationship with Kevin, right? So I met Kevin in Brooklyn, but I had a relationship with Tori. I moved out to Brooklyn, came back to the Bronx, and we picked up Tori, you know, like we never left. We family, right? But for my military brothers, right? And Billy, you know, we had a relationship. Y'all speak, man. Keep it real. Keep it all the way real.
But can I ask you guys something about the military? Because I didn't. I had a child at a very young age, so I didn't go. But my brother went. He did 20 years in the Corps, and he came out. He served 2 terms in Iraq. And one of the stories that he told me that kind of like, because I know, you know, my brother as a young man was always a compassionate man, always a man who felt the need to help other people. But he told me a story once, and I noticed that he changed a little. Is this something that happens in the military? He said that he had developed a roadblock. He was the sergeant of his platoon, and he was supposed to stop certain people from coming through. Right now, there was one car that came through, was an old Mercedes. And he told his men to tell the car to stop. The car would not stop. So he told the guys to light the car up. When they lit the car up and they pulled the bodies out of the car, it was a child, an old man, and a dog. So I looked at my brother and I said, how did that make you feel? And he just took a puff of cigarette, didn't even look me in my eye, looked straight ahead, and he said, he should have stopped. And I looked at him like there was no compassion. It was gone. It was like there was no empathy.
No, there was compassion. There was compassion because the compassion was for those people that he served with. There was compassion, bro. Mm-hmm. He didn't have no compassion for them, the ones he killed. You got to think about, bro. Man, it's Man, that's
Like even though, like I'm saying,
you're touching
I'm saying,
it.
like,
watch it
yeah,
now.
yeah.
but what I'm saying is once the threat is gone and you realize that it was no threat, and you're looking at the situation before you after everything, the dust is settled. You don't say to yourself at that point, like, is there something that goes out of you where you say, well, damn, I just killed the kid? I mean, don't get me wrong, you got a job to do. You're there to do a job. You're there to watch
Nah,
out for your fellow
Hey,
man.
Joey, you
nah.
remember that
Nah, because it's
conversation
war.
we
It's
had
war.
I joined where you was like,
Nah.
you was like, you joined the military? And I was like, yeah, I joined the infantry. And you said what? I don't know if you remember that. You said, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Right? Now, I didn't know what the infantry was all about. You know, all I knew was I thought I was a tough guy. You know, I could handle that. That's nothing. I'm athletic.
Yeah, that's the LL Cool J. Bush was LL Cool J.
But truth be told, the infantry, right? The military in general will make you hard.
It's only one MOS. That's infantry. 11 Bravo,
Right.
baby.
Well, hey, bang, bang, right? On my left want to be. But the military make you hard, but the infantry, you know, again, you really got to be a kid. You got to have a hard right?
Infantry, the military's not hard no more. It's not like when we was in there.
Not anymore, right?
Right. Different animal.
I remember going to MEPS, right? That's the In-Processing Center in Brooklyn, Fort Hamilton. And I was a one-stop unit training guy. I was doing basic training and AIT in one shot, right? One summer.
Been in Georgia.
We had, and this was in Fort Hamilton, right before we got to, and in the MEPS in Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn, there was two kids, right, of Caucasian persuasion. They were sitting down, right? And every other word coming out of these dudes' mouths, right, was mother F this and mother F that. Right?
Hey, Mendez. Remember what they used to call, what the kids called me when in Kosovo? Chocolate? Yo, chocolate. Yo, even in the other countries where they didn't have a proper word, they just created chocolate.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jack. You know, he know.
The point being is that
Yeah.
these kids had been to basic training a summer before, and they had got indoctrinated into the infantry mindset. And now they were coming back for the AIT, right? The advanced individual training. And they had the infantry mindset. They knew that's how the infantry talked. They knew that there was no room for any emotion, really, right? That you had to be hard, right? And that's just the way it was. And I didn't really understand that until I got in that environment and basic training at Fort Benning. And I said, okay, I get it now. This is how we move. This is how we talk.
I agree with what you're saying while you're in the service. I'm talking about once you're out and you're going back to society. Is it hard for military people to bring yourself back into that?
Oh yeah, I'll never be normal. you know? Yeah.
No. And that's not. Hey, let me tell you, man. I'm gonna say something, man. That's the honest to God truth. I have not been the same since we left combat. I can't even work no more, man. I try to go on interviews, bruh, and I snapped. I blacked out, and I hurt people. Been in jail for hurting people on interviews in a room full of people. I'm not gonna tell you. I miss, and it's gonna sound messed up. I miss combat.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I miss?
Honestly, I wish I could still be back over there, and that's sad. And I got kids, man. But I miss you guys. This right here is a blessing for me.
Right.
You know, me and Jack, we've been in Iraq together, right, Jack?
You don't understand, man. You guys don't understand, bro. I've been in some dark. I played hard over there, but I've been in some dark places since I've been back. And bruh, let me tell you.
Hey, Jack, respect.
I pray a lot, man. I pray a lot, man. And I remember,
I was a detainee NCO. I remember everything that happened.
Yo, man, hey. But being back here, man, it's not the same. I felt when I was over there with Bravo Company, I was over there with family, man. I felt at home. When I came back, everything's new to me, man. And I don't mess with people. I stay in my house. I deal with my son, man. My baby boy. I got 5 boys. I deal with my baby boy, man. He's with me. I try to make sure his life is great, bro. God has truly blessed me. I got a four bedroom house, 3.5 bathrooms, man. I mean,
Amen.
three
Amen.
bathrooms, man. But when I
That
tell
is
you,
good.
when I tell you, man, I fought to get my 100% because it's the part that I get pissed off about because you got soldiers that are people that been in the service. They come out with 90%, but the ones that was over there when it first kicked off OIF1, man, we sit up here. We had to fight. We have to fight our government, the same government we fought for to get our benefits, and they try to tell us ain't nothing wrong with you. But yet, still, you got a person that they come out of basic training. Some of them don't even complete basic training, come out with 90%.
Yeah, still my PTSD in basic. I was in Jackson.
Yeah, you know, and it's messed up. But if I could do it all over again, I would do it with the same people I went to combat with. If I could be with it right now, man, when I tell you 90% of me was left in Iraq, 90% of me was left in Iraq, man.
Hey,
It was so bad.
Respect, brother. Respect.
It was so bad, man. My ex-wife would tell you, I tried to get back over there any way I could, man, and I finally made it back over there as a contractor. And I was at home. I was at peace. Hey, they shooting rockets into the compound. Everybody screaming and acting crazy. I was at peace, man. I was like, yo, okay.
When you're a serviceman, when you're a soldier, that's a part of your heart, man. You know.
Well, you know what it is? Test. It's testing. You know what? You know what you got when you were in that environment because it's just like when kids grow up in the street, and they've been challenged and they're dealing with the murder and the bloodshed and things, and then these guys grow up and they become best friends. And like LeBron, he went back and hired all of the people from his block. When we were over there, these are people that their metal has been tested to the limits. You know what you're getting. Out here in civilian society, you can't trust nobody. Everybody's snaking everybody. Ain't nobody tested. Everybody's all shallow out here. That's why, you hear me sound the way I sound about certain things, because I almost feel like you wind up being a nice guy all the time. Like I got people in my family that always tell me to have elevation on everything. Take the high road. And me, my personality, and then the combating, all the things I've been through, I'll be wanting to punch somebody in the mouth. You know what I mean? I think it's okay to do that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have elevation and understand everybody else's problems. Sometimes I want to just be like, you know what? I got problems too.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to take credit for my work.
But see, people can't tell you, talk to me. How can you understand where I'm coming from if you hadn't been where I've been? So why am I going to talk to you? You know what I'm saying? And then when we first came back trying to get a job, man, dude told me, bruh, I would like to hire you, but did you kill anybody? Man, what does that got to do with me working?
Man, I hate when they ask those questions.
I'm not trying to be funny. I used to hate civilians with a passion. So I keep myself sheltered in my house. I order my clothes offline. I don't mess with civilians. If I do go out there, man, I go out there first thing in the morning when I know nobody's out there. That way I can shop. I ain't got to worry about nobody talking to me. I ain't got to worry about me having a flashback. I get what I get. I get the hell out of there. And I'm being honest with me, Bush. And I'm so thankful for you, man, and you guys, man. I get a chance to see you guys again. I get a chance, man, to talk, man, to people that I know that can relate to me, who know what I've been through or what we all been through. And what a lot of people don't understand, man. I went to a family reunion, and I tried to go to a family reunion. I stayed in the truck, man. I didn't. They was like, man, you remember me? I don't even remember my own family, bro. I don't remember them. I don't mess with them, man. And my cousin had to tell me. He said, hey, y'all, just leave them alone. He's like, man, hey, man, the Army did. I said, bro, don't talk about my brothers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't know what we've been through, man. Right. And for you, Tori, the sad part is, man, we fought, and we was there for each other, but we had to fight our own people, man, to make it back. And that's a testimony for me, Colonel Charles E.A. Sexton. I had a death threat placed on my bunk while I was up there at the BIOP. Several people I know has death threats placed on the bunk from my own people, bro. And see, it's a lot of stuff in combat that we don't talk about that we experience, man. But it's sad when you fighting the enemy, then you find out you got to fight your own people just to make it back to Germany safely.
That's an injustice.
That is an injustice.
But this is the thing. When I tell you,
Jack, if you ever want to talk about that, we could have like a whole session. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the show. We want to bring the soldiers on and that can tell stories that other service members can relate to, right? We got brothers. We got a bunch of brothers. We got a gang of brothers.
Man,
right?
it hurts, bro. It hurts, man, because I'm not that same person. I can't go out in society, man. I can't mess with people. I don't mess with people. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm not with my son or my kids.
Right.
That hurts, man. So I'm not gonna put myself in a situation like that. And then they want to send you to see these shrinks and all this stuff and try to pump all this medication in you, and then they know it's bad. We basically a guinea pig for them. Man, it's messed up, man. That's why I enjoy talking to you, bros. Bush, I know you had an anniversary, man, but I was. You see, I text you early, like, man, what's up? We gonna talk, bro?
Well, we already fixing that, right, Bush? We gonna get a page, and we can go live from the page. And if one of us is not there, that's like I was at football practice talking about plays and stuff, and y'all was already jumping in. And if Bush ain't here, or Mendez or whoever, we still going live.